When the tax reform often reads like a spreadsheet with footnotes, Vanuatu decided to tell a different story. We talked about Fiji, we talked about Samoa. Those were very unique perspectives on highs and lows of implementing latest digital tax solution for real-time VAT monitoring and reporting. This one is different. It is a story about starting, about breaking away from manual processes, compliance delays and guesswork. Despite the recent earthquake that shook the archipelago country, and although challenges remain, the people of Vanuatu have once again demonstrated resolute resilience. Nevertheless, with determination and as part of their long-term commitment, they continue moving forward step by step toward realizing their vision of digital transformation. While regional neighbors like Fiji and Samoa took the digital plunge early, Vanuatu didn't rush. It observed, asked hard questions, and waited until the right solution met the right moment. That moment, it's now. Some time back, the Director of Customs and Inland Revenue, Mr Harold Tarosa, has announced plans to launch the Vanuatu Sales Monitoring System, a move expected to improve the collection of value-added tax from businesses across the country. Mr Tarosa explained that the new system is designed to address revenue leakages and warrant fair contribution of VAT payments by all businesses. All along, there has been leakage in the revenue, so it's about time to shut down a small loophole and see what the government can recover, he said. The system will provide real-time information on business sales and will be rolled out in 3 phases, starting with business-to-individual transactions. Mr Tarosa emphasized the importance of understanding the business community's operations. He said the department will work closely with businesses to guarantee that the system supports transparency without overlooking their challenges. Once we get to the final point of the transaction, we'll be in a better position to manage things, he added. So, can the country, still at the starting line of a digital fiscal transformation, show how fresh beginnings can be smarter beginnings? We're about to find out, right here, on Vanuatu's first steps into real-time tax administration, powered by Data Tech International's TaxCore. On our end, we sat with Collins Gesa, Deputy Director of Departments of Customs and Inland Revenue at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Management of Vanuatu. Here is what he said.
I'm the Deputy Director of Inland Revenue, responsible for government revenue. This department is a very key strategic department for the Vanuatu government, because the Vanuatu government depends entirely on the government revenues, and this department has a mandate purposely to call it government revenue. It's government yearly budget allocated also to facilitate legitimate trade and also to protect our borders. But in this area, again, a bigger focus is on the raising maximum revenue collections and also collecting government for the Republic of Vanuatu. The government has decided through the Department of Customs and Inland Revenue to venture into this journey simply because tax is seen as very good for raising government revenue. And in Vanuatu, as you understand, one of the strategic reasons for this was the need for us to shift from a manual system or from a semi-automated system to a full-fledged of a digitized solution. I think that has been one reason why Vanuatu has decided to commit on this undertaking, particularly with your company known as DCIR.
Before building new systems, you've got to face the old ones. In Vanuatu, challenges weren't just about outdated technology. They were about unpredictability, weak reporting, and trust hanging by a thread. So instead of treating symptoms, the Vanuatu Revenue Authority decided to reset the whole process, starting with what businesses see, what taxpayers expect, and how government earns back credibility.
Tax compliance has always been a big challenge. TaxCore has always been a big challenge as well. Resources allocated, particularly to the tax administration, has almost been a challenge as well. Because our tax systems in Vanuatu are predominantly indirect and also services. Having said that, because the owners on the taxpayers to keep and maintain good records of their businesses or business affairs, and also they have an obligation to furnish a tax return to the tax office through the frequencies that they will elect to, or also in line with the accounting basis they have to elect it. Sometimes it's not always easy, and I think where things are, it has always been a challenge to us simply because the issue of the hidden economy, underground economy, or cash economy, it has always been a big challenge for Vanuatu because predominantly we have a very small formal system where comparable to what we have in the informal system with a lot of these people. Record keeping seems to be a big issue, and also not everybody seems to be meeting their tax obligations as required by all the laws of the land, so as within the regulations. In terms of the uniqueness, I think Vanuatu is quite different to our other neighbors in the region. Knowingly, our big brothers like Fiji, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and the likes of others as well, Australia, New Zealand being the advanced economies. But I think in this regard, probably it starts off with our physical taxation regime. All our tax systems in Vanuatu they're predominantly indirect. That makes us a bit different from our other neighbors or our other neighbors in the region. At this point in time, we do have some political appetite at the policy level. I think it starts off at the policy level. There's basically three things that we have to address in this regard. One was at the policy level, we need sound, clear policy directions from any government of the day or any political masters or decision makers of the day. That would be one. Second to that is the way our legislations are framed. Our legislative framework would be very different to others at this point in time. And 30 to 30 is, I think, the strength of the organization as ours. Whether or not you have the resource, in terms of funding resource, people resource, technology, the use of a TaxCore is a solution from where things are and moving forward. This thing makes the pinnacle of our uniqueness really different. But the commitment that we currently have is we made a commitment to go high with our digital transformation journey. And that for that reason, I think with where things are haphazardly, there's been a lot of things that were done actually manually and semi-automated. But we'd like to go with a full-fledged of a full digital transformational journey where the shift of our corporate culture, our business practices should shift from what we were doing traditionally manually or semi-automated or semi-digitized to a full-fledged of a digital solution. So we look forward as well to this TaxCore solution as one that will ideally bring us to that expectation.
When your neighbors go first, you don't just applaud, you take notes. Fiji and Samoa already built their digital tax muscle using TaxCore. Vanuatu, pragmatic as ever, saw what worked, what faltered, and what wisdom was worth importing. Sometimes, not being first lets you be better prepared. Also, while Vanuatu sets its vision, DTI brings the structure. This isn't plug and play, as we previously explained, it's co-creation, and when rollout day comes, the only thing more valuable than the software is the trust between those building it.
Certainly, yes. We have learned quite well from our neighboring countries, I think for purposes for regional management and also alongside with adapting, adopting, and also implementing the best practices of the day. We strongly believe that the lessons learned from Fiji in this regard and also Samoa would serve purposely for us, not to repeat the lessons learned, particularly from the undertakings. We firmly believe that whatever that is done in our context with this TaxCore and also as a solution would be, it has to be tailor-made, it has to be customized to the Vanuatu context. to address the policy need and also to address the legislative requirement, so as with the strength of the carrying physical structure of our taxation, so as with the strength of our tax administration. In terms of our uniqueness, because of our because of our the economy of scale that Vanuatu position us out to, probably it would be a better fit for us purposely to learn from them properly, as take the lessons learned from them, and also do what that we believe it will be a best fit for us. Like a good example of that would be if one of these countries has gone with some sectors or industries as an example, probably in our business case, probably through our project team and also through the governments and also with the system developer as DTI, maybe it's always good for us to look at other avenues, like instead of going with some industries or some sectors for the Trump, probably would be better for us to go with the whole of industry approach simply because of the scale of our scale and the size of our economy as well. But I think with that said, it's also good as well for us not to repeat what our other neighbors has gone through. That also would serve purpose to prove for us that whatever prototype or whatever byproduct that we were able to conclude with, it has to take ownership of our business interests, our business requirements. So as we have to have ownership of that, and also it has a best fit as well for what we believe will be best for us. At the end of the day, I strongly believe that the core functions of the system itself as a solution probably would serve purpose alongside what our other colleagues in the region like VT and someone have gone through, but it will be a better fit as well to rule a line of best fit that we should not be repeating the errors or the lessons learned that they have gone through. I'm a firm believer of managing relationship and also setting goals and also working together as a strong. And I think it's in uh, in a short time space where we were able to engage, particularly with your managing director Koran and also with the team, like Imre and Maya and also Lucas, a few people who were actually on ground for the first phase. I think what it has proved to us, my take on that would be there is a very clear forward-looking an outlook, particularly for the developers in terms of them trying to understand our business needs and also work alongside with the scope, particularly in line with them being the successful company that was awarded a contract, particularly to work with us. I firmly believe that because there's a very clear term of reference and a scope of work to be carried out, and for that reason, I saw the relationship as being very positive in a very short time. And I think you guys have proven yourself to be very to be experts in your own professions and also in your own field. And for that reason, the relationship is very positive. The relationship momentum is very high. And I think the driver behind everything was our project team and also project manager George for that matter, the project team, and also you guys being the experts in the different phases. The relationship is very positive. It's very promising. We've come a long way with where things are. It has been some sort of like some setback for us right from the start because we thought a person like a project manager has to have an IT specialized background in that area. But I think one thing that you guys province was it's not about that. It's basically about the project coordination.
Of course, we shouldn't pretend we're at the finish line. Vanuatu is still laying the track, but it's laying it straight. From technical integration to onboarding taxpayers, it's a marathon dressed like a sprint. But this is also a long-term play, future-proofing public finance and laying digital foundations that won't crack under pressure. Before anything, there is a matter of legislation that needs to be amended to regulate the usage of the digital solution called the Vanuatu Sales Monitoring System, VSMS, which is powered by DTI's TaxCore.
We still have 4 other phases to go through. And in terms of our key milestones ahead, I strongly believe that Investor building has been one big area that we've identified. And I think it will be a true testament, particularly if we were to hear directly from the project manager and also the project team, because probably a lot right from the start when we did the appointments to be project members of the project team members of the project team. I can tell at the time when I was giving out the letters that level of confidence was not really there. So what I told them at the time that this is a challenge, but take this challenge and also be prepared for the fun and the learning behind it. But one thing certainly will also be a milestone would be in terms of the capacity building, whether through the project team where a project manager will be trained, would be molded, so as with our project team members. In terms of the rollout of the project itself, we look forward as well to the final, probably the pre filings or pre key findings, particularly from the first phase, and also I'm well aware that others of your colleagues will come over on ground. Minister is quite keen on that as well. This is the phase test of the project itself, but I think it will set the standard, particularly in terms of project management for the remaining 4 phases. And I strongly believe that because the momentum is so high, and because that level of engagement and that level of commitment, particularly from the project manager and the project team is so high, the assurance is also that the governance committee is also very committed. So is with our Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, and including our government of the day. Everybody is quite happy to see where things are. And I'm also pleased as well to hear that in the last session of Parliament, the Deputy PM, the Minister of Finance, was actually briefed, because it was also in the interest of the members of the Parliament from the opposition side, trying to understand the cost of the project, the progress of the project, and the potential return on investment, particularly from the project itself. So in terms of particularly its full implementation, I think this will be a game changer. But I strongly believe that this will be a game changer because it will really it will provide a shift in the business practices once the regulation, the law itself is in place, and once we as an implementing agency, the solution once the TaxCore solution is in place, we are quite excited to see the final rollout or the final go live of the TaxCore solution itself once we've completed all the 4 phases. And we look forward as well to the return on investment, particularly from the TaxCore solution itself. But I think the expectation is always high from, particularly from our side, also from governance, from leadership, and from government as well, to see the project in excel as well with the rollout of the project in the different phases. But one thing that we strongly believe that the TaxCore solution will provide, particularly to the government, was to address the government with its revenue collection challenges. In this regard, VAT predominantly is one of our broad-based tax. It has contributed very significantly in the billions in the past up until now. And as we speak as well, the government will continue to rely heavily on the value-added tax regime in Vanuatu as a broad-based tax. And for that reason, it's only fit for purpose for me to confirm that it's the right move at the right time, particularly for Vanuatu to embark on this TaxCore solution or the VAT monitoring system, simply because there is almost a very heavy reliance on VAT as one of our broad-based tax HEPs, particularly for the government. So equally important, once the system is up, I strongly believe as a long-term return on investment, the government will obviously see and harvest the regular collections, particularly from the solutions itself. I think it will be a game changer to change the business practices, particularly from the businesses who are currently business license holders, clean registration applicant, and also value-added tax registrants. So ideally, the solution will provide us and will assist us big times with our enforcement and with our soft enforcement, with our hard enforcement, and with our revenue collections. And I strongly believe that the solution will also address once and once for all the need for businesses to keep and maintain business records, because it's in Vanuatu. It is compulsory for all businesses to at least keep and maintain business records for at least 5 years. Long-term benefit that we're able to get, particularly for government purposes, not only for registration purposes for VAT, but for other national purposes, other statistical purposes.
When a tax system starts with honesty and ends with real-time receipts, everyone will notice. Businesses want clarity, taxpayers want proof, governments want stability, and TaxCore done right offers all three on one platform, in one country, starting now. So what's the message to those watching this digital chapter unfold?
The message would be tax should be seen as everybody's business, not necessarily one of the fighting and one of the difficult tasks that we from the tax administration has to do. It has to be seen as everybody's business, and I think that level of engagement we'd like to get from everybody. I'd like to say, as the stage was to engage everybody through a clear communication strategy, and with a clear communication program, and also come up with utilize the most effective channels, and get to engage at that level of engagement with everybody, giving them that liberty, and also giving them the natural justice right to get the buy-in as well. So I think to me, having that level of engagement right from the start, particularly with them, and getting it right from the start and working together with them would be the ideal thing that we would like to affect everybody to be involved, everybody to be engaged. And it has to be seen as, we have to be seen in this process as partners. Data in itself would always be paramount in this regard. Data is powerful, but in that regard. But I think it's the change of the different phases from an accurate data right from the start at the point of sale, for example, as a starting point, through the entire process where data is obviously processed to be established an understanding and an information and a knowledge and a wisdom behind what reforms we bring into our business process.
Some countries raced to the finish line. Vanuatu took a breath and chose to race smart. With TaxCore, it's not just about digital receipts, it's about rebuilding trust in public finance through each verified transaction. Because when a nation gets serious about showing every VATU counts, that's not just administration, that's transformation. To follow Vanuatu's journey or to see how it could inspire your own, subscribe, comment, or reach out to DataTech International directly. You already know that digital tax solutions aren't just coming. In Vanuatu, they are already being put in place.